My name is Clara Gaggero Westaway, and I love frustrations. You see, frustration are at the core of my work. And people usually think of frustration as a very negative, pessimistic thing. But my job is to think of them as a beautiful, inspiring place where to plant an idea. I don't work in customer support, or I'm not a psychologist. I'm actually a designer. You see, designers don't only design clothes or cars or pick the color of your curvy toasters. I'm, of course, very interested in aesthetics, but what I do on a daily basis is to design feelings. I find a frustration, I invent a solution for it, and I transform it into a moment of happiness, into a moment of delight, into a moment that gives you that sort of warm, fuzzy feeling. In my wonderful London-based design studio called Special Projects, we use an empathic design methodology that encourages us to look at the whole journey, the whole emotional journey of a person using a product or a service. We spend our time trying to find the deep in the customer experience, that moment that makes someone unhappy or frustrated. And we use design to fix it and to make it into a moment of happiness instead. Let me show you an example that I really like. Apple, a few years back, found that tripping on your laptop cable and smashing your laptop on the floor was a source of massive frustration. So what they invented to prevent that was, in my opinion, very magical. It's called the MagSafe, and it's a magnetic power cord. So imagine you are walking and you are about to trip. You trip on your cable. Your first thought is of terror, and instead, literally, the laptop cable pops out like that. So you're saved. And this is a beautiful invention, in my opinion, because it doesn't do anything until you need it. It's there sitting silently until you need it. But let me show you an example from our work. A few months back, we realized that multitasking on your phone was a source of frustration. And in particular, when you need to switch in between apps, there was this very difficult moment that no one seemed to have designed, a bit like a sort of no man's land in the digital world. So we set off to find a solution for it, and we called it Magic UX. So we're very inspired by the way people act in the real physical world, and we really wanted to be inspired by those behaviors. So we look at how people organize themselves on a desk and switch very easily in between tasks. When you try and do this digitally instead, the feeling is of frustration. It really interrupts your flow. You're going in and out of apps. So we invented a solution that was heavily inspired by the physical world. You can literally pin an app to a physical space. So every time you go back to that space, the same app will be active. And there is no limit of how many apps you can pin. It's a little like creating a physical desktop in your digital world. So let's say you are maybe writing an email and you want to insert a picture. You can just go where the pictures are kept, select one, and drag it across. Thank you. You can do the same things with text as you have just seen. Picture again. Thank you. Or let's say you are trying to find an appointment that works you're writing a text and you're trying to find an appointment that works with both of you. You can switch in between the calendar and the text until you find a space that works with both of you. So again, we've been heavily inspired by the behavior that people have in the physical world to find a solution for your frustration in your digital life. Sometimes, though, pinpointing the source of frustration is not as easy, particularly if you're not yourself experiencing that frustration. And we found out, we really experienced that when back in 2010, Samsung asked us to find the frustration that that older people were experiencing when using smartphones. So they asked us, how could we help older people access and enjoy mobile technology? You have to think that at the time, only 3% of over 65 were sending at least one text daily, so very small usage. When we started the project, we had a very cliched image in mind of aging. We thought that older people were like probably, alone and sad, and their body and mind were decaying. It seems that every designer thinks that older people love beige and gray. So everything designed for the aging population is beige or gray. But during the research, we spent a lot of time with older people, and we found out that the real picture was very different. Older people are full of energy, they travel a lot, they have a very active social life, and in fact, silver dating websites are a booming market at the moment. We soon realized that unfortunately, technology companies were designing with the first picture in mind. If you'd gone to a shop in 2010 and you asked for a phone for your grandmother, you'd probably be, or mother, would probably be presented with something like this. These are called silver phone, and we think they're extremely disrespectful and patronizing. I just want to point out that none of these phones have enough digits to dial a number. So when you're over 60, 65, you're only allowed to have 4 or 5 friends. But you get a wonderful SOS button just to remind you that you're about to die at any minute. So when we saw this, we really promised ourselves that we didn't want to design something like this. We didn't want to dumb down technology and decide that that was enough. We wanted to enable older people to access and enjoy all the beautiful aspects of mobile technology. So we set off on a journey trying to understand the source of the frustration, and we spoke to people that learned about technology alone, in couples, and in groups. We designed workshops, a day-long workshops in 3 countries. So we went all the way to Norway, the UK, of course, and in Italy. In this workshop, we really tried to create an environment where people could dream and really tell us what they wanted from technology, ideally. And we soon stopped using diagrams and, let me say, more traditional tools. Instead, we actually gave people bananas. And we actually asked them to create their dream phone using stickers and ribbon. And I know this might seem a bit crazy, but actually this activity really unlocked their critical thinking, and they really started to tell us what they wanted from technology. Whilst before they were telling us, I want a big screen, I want a big button. Now they were really showing us what their banana phone could do. So these are the bananas in Italy on the snow. The second banana says tutto vocale, anche SMS. And this means all vocal, even SMS. So in a way, this person in 2010 invented voice control on a phone, Siri on a phone. The third banana says coffee please, which is something we're working on. But there is a button for film. Then we were asked for news report, weather forecast, traffic control, all the things that smartphone really can do. This is one of my favorite banana phone. It has a button to make the kids happy. This is a banana phone of a grandfather of 5, and he literally just wanted to go home when he was babysitting and press the button. But a lot of us give the phone or the tablets to our children to keep them quiet for a while. But the important thing is, underneath there is a map of Norway. And we asked this gentleman what was different from the banana phone GPS and his phone GPS. And at that point, the gentleman went bright red. He didn't realize he had a GPS on his phone. So this very apparently trivial activity of the banana gave us two very important insights. One, that people really wanted powerful technological tool. And two is that people were afraid of exploring. There was a sort of barrier in between the users and the devices. We found out what the barrier was, what the cause of frustration was, when we took people of all ages to buy phones. Everyone acted pretty similarly in the store. They didn't enjoy the experience much, but they were all very happy to have a new phone. The biggest difference was when we got home and they unboxed their device. Duncan, which is in his 20s there, just literally chucked the manual away, chucked the box away, and learned in like 3 seconds. Like Beverly, who is in her 60s, 2 minutes in, she's still like looking for help in the box. She's not understanding why the phone is not turning on, is it the right manual, what are all these leaflets? So she's looking for help in the box, but help often, isn't there. Instead, you can find a beautiful box filled with flimsy manual written by engineers that don't do a good job. So we realized there that the biggest dip of the experience was in the unboxing process. And we felt that it was such a bad moment, the enthusiasm dropped so low that people never really recovered, never built up the confidence again to really use a mobile phone. So we set off to really improve that, and we believe that by improving the learning experience and the unboxing experience, we could make the whole journey a much better journey. So at the moment, the user has to struggle to put together the manual, the device, and the box. And we created a solution that brings all these elements together into a frictionless experience. We basically transformed the box into 2 hardback books, so they can live on a bookshelf or on your bedside table and not be chucked away in a little drawer or box somewhere. And the first book really walks you step by step through the procedure of building your device. So on the first page, you'll find the SIM card, which is the heart and soul of your phone. On the second page, you find exactly where you need to insert it. On the third page, you find the battery, and then again, exactly where you need to insert it. So this, uses a very familiar medium, a book, to guide you through something that is very unfamiliar, which is setting up a mobile device. We tested this with Beverly, and she was giggling through the whole process. And that's exactly the moment of warm, fuzzy feeling that I was telling you about. The second book there is the book that teaches you the functions of the phone. We changed the language to be very, very clear, so there is no jargon. And then we cut out a little hole in the book, so you can put your phone in the center of attention, and literally all the instructions point exactly where you need to press, avoiding any confusion and problem with cross-referencing a device and an instruction. Of course, if you're a pro, you can jump to chapter 9, but if not, you can take your time and go slowly. So this is the first mobile phone user manual to be in a museum of modern art, and this project really, taught us how to empathize with users and really find frustration that maybe you're not experiencing yourself. To conclude my presentation today, I want to show you frustration in the physical world. I've spoken about 2 digital frustration. I'm now going to show you a physical frustration. So we're a big fan of these manuals, but we always felt that there were some missing pages. The experience never ended up on a high. Actually, it always ended up on a low, either being in pain or fighting with your loved one. So we thought, let's design the missing pages of these manuals to end the experience on a high. So for example, if you've built a double bed with your partner and you ended up fighting with your loved one, Duo is for you. So it has a little template where you can write a love message, and then it teaches you how to fold it into a beautiful heart shape to give it to your loved one and make peace. If you instead go solo when building a bookshelf and you end up with a backache, then Stretchy is for you. You can use the box to create an impromptu yoga mat. And then we worked with a personal trainer to find the perfect stretches for you, for the muscle you've strained during the build of your bookshelf. So you can stretch your neck, your wrists, and your back. So you'll be as good as new as the end. My name is Clara Gaggero Westaway, and I'm on a mission to enhance the unquantifiable aspect of life through meaningful design and innovation. Next time you feel frustrated, please think about me. And remember that frustrations are awesome. Frustrations are opportunities. In every frustration, there is a little moment of fuzzy feeling that is just waiting to be freed. Thank you.